Hey everybody, it's Greg Colossale, and this is video number 5, I believe, of the business advice, little business school I'm trying to invent online. And it's already going well. Content's moving around, and I don't know if I could help people. I really like it. Business consulting, realistic based. Like I'm not gonna, we don't blow smoke here at the new school. So this topic is very important to hear, and that is you must be realistic. I want you to be realistic about your business. Don't get me wrong, you can always dream, and dreaming is a very cool thing about American business. Dreaming is the number one thing that you're going to do. You're going to be dreaming of leaving your job, dreaming of moving to a different place, dreaming of making more money, dreaming of, and that is crucial. Do not kill the dream, but it's just like a real dream. You know, when you're dreaming and then all of a sudden you wake up and the dream stops. That's real. That's a good thing because you don't want to be in analysis paralysis. You don't want to dream, write stuff down, dream, and never do anything. That's why they wake you up. That's why it's a great thing to wake up, because you then set the motion. You go into motion. Now, let me tell you, my father was a great inspiration to me. I'm writing a book about him. And I'm not going to go into a lot, but he is always at the tip of my tongue because he was the American dream. And when people tell you you can't, you do this, you don't do this, he just made a mockery out of everyone. I hate to say it. Yes, it might be hard to do what he did in 2025, what he did back in 75. However, he would not have stopped trying, and he would have made progress, because that's what happens when you don't stop trying. You see, this is an idea that people get very mad at me, especially American people with American backgrounds and lots of, a heritage that goes back many generations. Whether you want to believe this or not, it's true. If you buy a lawnmower and knock on 10 people's, no, let's say realistic, let's say 10, just 10 small yards a day, and you go in a neighborhood that has 500 houses and you knock on the door and say, excuse me, I'd like to know if you'd like me to cut your lawn. I'd be happy to do it. It would be $20. Now that's cheap. Someone like me would say yes instantly because I hate cutting the lawn. So you do that 10 times and you made $200. Okay, now you do it 6 days a week and you've made $1,200. If you do that more than 10 times a day, let's say they're small and you could do 15, you're now up to 1,700, 1,800. What I'm trying to tell you is that people don't actually like to hear the fact that the more that you work, the more money you make. It could be as a dishwasher for $7 an hour, which is illegal nowadays, or it could be cutting the lawn. But the more you work, the more money you make. So people don't like the new generations, oh, they hate this. This is like, who would, because I have to have, I don't have, I shouldn't mock them, but they rightfully understand that is a horrible life. But is it? Is it? It is under 30 because everyone's drinking and having fun. Why would you want to be cutting the lawn? But as you get older and you realize false friends and fake this and that, and no one helps you, no one cares, you need money to make things happen, you might as well continue to repeat some action that you like, which gives you more meat and more heat and more clothing and more gas and more. Why not? What else are you going to do? You're going to watch Maury Povich and Oprah and MTV and HBO? You're going to do drugs? You're going to drink? You're going to smoke cigs? You're going to date 1,000 people who only want you for one reason? You understand? It's a reality is, if this is my father, he couldn't believe it. He came from such a horrible childhood that he was like, Greg, do you understand? And he had an Italian accent. He's like, Greg, no, you understand? This is a gift. You can wake up at work and someone will give you money. You think the whole world works that way? It doesn't. So this is why I'm fundamentally driven this way, because my life, my father, my family, we were working wackadoos. We worked and worked and worked. While a lot of our friends, parents, they went to church and they went to the bar and they played sports and they went to bingo. They did a lot of things that they wanted to do, but we worked, and all we did was work. And I don't think it was a horrible thing. It was a wonderful thing. So going back to the nuts and bolts of this video, and that is be realistic and dream. So dream a realistic dream. You have to excuse me. I'm drinking the cold brew that I'm inventing. It's quite a task, but I'm getting close. It's a little bit too acidic. So let me give you an example. My niece, this is not nice because one of my nieces, I have like 75 nieces and nephews. It's a joke, but it's very common for a young person to go, I love animals. I love the beach. I'm going to be a marine biologist. Now that isn't a bad mindset. It's just, it lacks something that's, I think, crucial, which is a reality of accumulation of money and the future and the reality of the human body. How long you're going to swim for? There needs to be a little. It doesn't mean you can't be a marine biologist. It just means that in this day and age, I think you have to think a little bit more broad. If you like dogs, right? This is what very common, especially with girls. I like dogs. I'm gonna walk dogs. Okay, there are dog walkers who have livings from this, and then there are dog walkers who don't make enough to pay the bills. So what you want to do is start with your nucleus. For me, it was music, which is that's a very kind of scary way to earn. But let me show you what I did with music. I knew right away. See, I'm not into I'm going to be a rock star. I play rock and roll. I've shared the stage with some incredible names. I'm talented enough to play in any band that is famous. I can play. But it was never, I'm going to be a rock star. Never. Okay? So I didn't become one. Notice how that works. You will manifest what you manifest. I knew that I wanted to do 3 things with music. I wanted to share it. That's called teaching. I wanted to make it and record it. That's recording, selling stuff. And I wanted to produce ideas around it that would attract the public, producing shows. And that's what I did. Those 3 components made it so that I was at the piano from about age 19, really up till today. I'm 50 years old. That's 31 years of paying the bills at the piano. I am very proud of that. A gift my father gave me. He encouraged me. He told me, Greg, you go do it. But notice how I was realistic about the 3 different ways I would make money doing it. I didn't say, Dad, I'm going to be famous. I love Ray Charles, but I'm not Ray Charles, Ray doesn't have a beard like this. No, I just kidding. So I was realistic in my trifecta of how to do that. And this is what I'm trying to tell you. Now, let's say you say, I love dogs. The goal would be, can you earn a living hanging out with dogs and buy a house? And I bought 2 houses. I bought 3 houses over decades with my ability to play the piano. You know what that feels like? I feel really cool. I'm not a rich man. I'm not a millionaire. I'm not anything, but I'm successful because I made it a goal to do what I set out to do, and I pushed aside the alcohol and the drugs enough to make sure that I wasn't going to get lost in that. I pushed aside bad friends and, enticing women sometimes. I've made a lot of mistakes. I've gotten involved with the wrong people and da-da-da. But I did something that's very hard to do. And that's why I'm telling you it's possible. And when I started selling the highest amount of music, the most music I could in the private market, it was 2008. The recession had arrived, and I was so foolish, I quit my job and sold singing to people who get it for free in the schools. Wonderful teachers. My colleagues were amazing. I was so sure of myself that I said, I'm going to resign, go down the street, open a garage, rent a garage, call it a school, and if 30 people come and give me $1,000, I could get going. And I believed in that, and that's what happened. And I believed in myself. Pretty cool, right? So that's why I'm telling you, don't let the dream die, but you have to be realistic. Now let's move away from me, all my bragging. Excuse me again. You wouldn't believe how hard it is for a man like me to succeed based on the energy that wishes me to stop. I gotta tell you, it is not something that's easy to handle. Okay, so watch this. Let's say it's dogs. Dad, I love dogs. Mom, I love dogs. Dog, 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 dog. Now, you have to ask yourself, how can you make money with dogs? Well, that's going to be location-based, just like any business. You have to put yourself in a situation where people have dogs. So right away, you can do what? You can walk the dogs. Now, you got to think clearly, what group of people are you going to be targeting with your business? Someone who has enough money to pay a dog walker. In today's financial climate, that's getting smaller, but still possible. What's another thing you can do with dogs? You can bathe them, clean them, and what's that called? Cut their hair. Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. Yeah, you know what I mean. You know, you could have a way to take care of their look, their image, right? You could have a store that sells dog beds, dog leashes, dog food. Now you're renting a place and hoping people will come and buy products that would make you profit for dog accessories, you could say. You could offer a service where you sleep at people's houses who don't want their dogs to be misplaced or displaced, I should say. And you make money by going house to house, scheduled, being a great, responsible, background checked person, no drug dealing, no illegal this, illegal that. Have a clean record so that when you enter the home, they know that, wow, this is a quality person, and then you could charge for that service. You could have a building that's called doggy daycare, something I still think I want to open one day, where people give you money for a 8 to 10 hour day where you look after the dogs in a playground setting. Okay, and you could keep on going. Dog groomer, that's the name I wanted to remember 10 minutes ago. Oof, it's horrible. Okay, so this is what you do. This is what's called being realistic. There's the dream. Mom, I like doggies. And then there's the breakdown of the reality of, can I actually buy a house doing this? The answer is yes. Yes, you can. Can you play Yahtzee, do yoga, fix cars, cook, take long walks, sleep 15 hours a day, do drugs, drink your brains out, have relationships with 50 different women or men? And what I just said? No, you cannot. No, that's the trade-off. So as you start to unfold your life, we just went through music, my experience, dogs, your experience. You can keep doing this. I now am, I've always been a lover and addicted to coffee. When I was 19, I owned a coffee shop against my will. My father forced it on me, which was a loving thing, but I was miserable. And my mom and I, coffee's just a big part of everyone's life. And so now I'm messing with my own little recipe to try to come up with my own coffee. So you could do this too. Keep on going. Do you like to cook? Do you like to Do you like to walk? I mean, there are so many crazy ways that we can satisfy our dreams and the people that we are and make money. Every now and then, I think a postal worker is a genius. I'm like, really? Walk 10 miles a day and get paid for it and probably do wonders for your health, and you know what I mean? So keep on dreaming, but know that it's got to be tied to reality. So that means you want to work your way backwards. There's going to be a whole video on working your way backwards. All right? Well, I hope you enjoyed that one. I'm Greg Colossale. Tune into the next one.